Imagine a world at war where global interactions are at a peak. The year is 1918, a time when the world was embroiled in the Great War, World War I. Nations across the globe locked in a deadly conflict, with millions of troops crisscrossing continents, bringing with them a whirlwind of change. This was a period of intense global interaction, a time when the world had never been so interconnected. Continents, nations, cultures, all intertwined in an intricate dance of diplomacy, conflict, and human movement. The mass movement of troops, the crowded conditions in the trenches and military camps, the exhaustion and the stress, all these created a potent breeding ground for disease. A pandemic, as we now know, needs just the right conditions to spread, and these were plentiful in the chaotic theater of war. In the spring of 1918, a new strain of influenza virus appears, striking swiftly and lethally. This was not your ordinary flu, it was something much more menacing, an invisible foe that the world was unprepared to face. Fever, fatigue, and body aches were the initial symptoms, but as the illness progressed, so did the severity of these symptoms, often leading to pneumonia and death. The virus spread like wildfire, leaping from person to person with alarming speed. Public gatherings turned into breeding grounds for the virus, and soon entire communities were sick. Despite its infamous moniker, the Spanish flu, it did not originate in Spain. The name arose due to Spain's neutral status during World War I, allowing for uncensored news reporting about the widespread illness, while other countries suppressed information to maintain morale during wartime. In a matter of months, the virus engulfs the globe, leaving no corner untouched. The Spanish flu shows no mercy, claiming lives on an unprecedented scale. The global mortality rate soared as the virus spread like wildfire. It's estimated that a third of the world's population was infected. That's over 500 million people. But what set this flu apart was its unique ability to target those in the prime of life. While most strains of influenza were content to prey on the very young, the very old, or the weakened, the Spanish flu had a sinister preference for healthy young adults. This unusual characteristic led to a devastating death toll, with the most fatalities occurring in the 20 to 40 age group. The virus was no respecter of persons, indiscriminately claiming the lives of soldiers, nurses, mothers, and fathers. By the end of its reign, the Spanish flu claims an estimated 50 million lives worldwide, more than the Great War itself. As swiftly as it started, the Spanish flu disappears, leaving a world in shock and mourning. By the summer of 1919, the virus had run its deadly course. Some attribute this sudden end to the development of herd immunity, where enough people had been infected and survived, thus limiting the virus's ability to find new hosts. Others suggest that the virus may have mutated into a less lethal strain. The aftermath of the Spanish flu was profound. An estimated 50 million lives were lost worldwide, with 500,000 of those in the United States alone. Society was forever altered. The pandemic exposed the inadequacies of health policies and forced nations to rethink their approaches to public health. Governments around the world began to invest more in healthcare infrastructure, research, and disease prevention. Though the Spanish flu fades, its memory lingers, a stark reminder of our vulnerability. The Spanish flu, a pandemic that forever imprinted itself on human history. Emerging in the spring of 1918, this invisible enemy infiltrated every corner of the globe, leaving no community untouched. The outbreak was swift and ruthless, transforming bustling cities into ghost towns within weeks. The death toll was staggering, estimated at between 20 to 50 million lives, a figure that surpasses the total casualties of World War I. Yet, amidst the devastation, humanity demonstrated resilience and fortitude. The end of the pandemic in 1920 didn't mark a complete victory, but rather a hard-earned reprieve. The aftermath was a world forever changed, societies reshaped, and a profound global understanding of the power that diseases hold. As we look back, we remember the Spanish flu not as a distant memory, but as a lesson in our ongoing battle against invisible enemies.